And as we go live on here, because there's a slight delay, I'm going to go over to Facebook and go here. And hopefully any second now, all goes to plan. And as we go live on here, because there's a slight delay. There we go. There's that delay I was talking about. I'm just going to turn off. And hopefully any second now, all goes to plan. And as we go live on here, because there's a slight delay. There we go. There's that delay I was talking about. I'm just going to turn off. And hopefully any second now, all goes to plan. Sorry, Lisa, I'm just trying to mute. Okay, I think.
Yes, well played.
Have we got it? Have we got
yes.
it? I think we're there. I think we're there. Why is it that I always have these little fun games with setting up my Facebook Lives? But you know what?
Because it's so fun for people to see what really happens. It's not always perfect and easy.
This is the true behind the scenes. Okay, we're live. It's working. We're here. Woo! Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of FBP Live. I'm Chantal, host of the Fitness Business Podcast, and this morning I am joined by a very special guest, Lisa Simone Richards. Lisa Simone, welcome.
Hello, my love. I'm so excited to be joining you this afternoon for me. So your workday is starting and mine is starting to wrap up.
I know. I am just so excited to have you on the show and to give everyone a little bit of background. So Lisa, Simone and I have known each other for a little while now, and we kind of, we reciprocate these interviews, right? So Lisa Simone has been on the Fitness Business Podcast twice before, and then earlier this year I was lucky enough to be interviewed by Lisa Simone on her online summit, which was really, really exciting. And then we've just done these kind of little bits and pieces over time. And I am just such a massive, massive fan of Lisa Simone's. And I was saying to her how much when I receive her emails, how attractive they are, because they come into my inbox and she has this way of crafting these subject lines that just jump out at you and make you want to look at those emails. So that's what we're here for today. But before we get into any of that, I thought we would start off today by me handing over to Lisa Simone so she can tell you a little bit about what she does. It's been a very big 2017. So Lisa Simone, tell everyone a little bit about your business and how you work with fitness professionals.
For sure. Hey, Chantal, and hi, FBP family. Always so fun to talk with you, Chantal, because, we always have such a fun energy together, and to connect with your community as well. I have loved the relationship that we continue to develop and grow over what is it, like the last year and change now. Being on your show has been so much fun for me. And a little bit about me and what I do is that health, fitness, and wellness entrepreneurs hire me to help them build expert status authority. So I think what we're seeing so much of now in health, fitness, or wellness industries is there are a ton of entrepreneurs now, whether those are studio owners, personal trainers, coaches. But the challenge is the market is getting so saturated right now. It's really difficult to actually not only get in front of your ideal client, but if you get that far, get them to convert to a paying client. So what I do is help entrepreneurs actually really stand out from what's a big red ocean now. So whether that's getting featured in the media, on podcasts, on blogs, growing their email list, speaking on stages, summits, whatever it might be, I help them separate themselves from everybody else and actually build themselves as an influencer and an expert. So not only can they connect with their ideal client, but actually convert them as well.
I absolutely love that, Lisa Simone, and it's probably a good opportunity to let everyone know that the most recent show that you did with us was not that long ago. It was in June this year, and that was because you were one of our highest downloaded shows for the previous 12 months. And in this year's show, you actually talked to us exactly about that, how to stand out in a crowded fitness market. So I just want to invite anyone who hasn't heard that show before and who's watching us today, and perhaps what Lisa Simone just said to you really resonated with you, then make sure you go on to fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, search for either Lisa Simone Richards or search for show 106, and you can take a listen to her expert advice on that. So as I said sort of at the beginning of this, I don't know about you guys who are watching at the moment, but my inbox is generally flooded when I wake up in the morning each day. So I generally have a long list of emails sitting there, and I've talked about it before. I have a saying that I share with a lot of people, which is don't start your day with emails or you'll end up as someone else's priority. And I absolutely firmly believe in that. And I purposely don't open up my emails like first thing in the morning. I plan my day first of all. But when I do get to opening up my emails, you really have to prioritize what you're going to give your attention to, what you're going to look at, what is going to be the most valuable areas for you to focus on during your day. And I know that when, clubs or personal trainers try and communicate with their clients, they are often in the situation where it's hard to get cut through. It's hard to actually get the attention of your client to open up that email that you sent so that you can get your message across to them. And we all know how valuable email marketing is. So I think, Lisa Simone, it was probably a couple of months ago when your first email came in, and I can't remember exactly what the subject line was, but I remember the moment because I actually forwarded it to JT from Active Management straight away and went, oh my God, how good is this? I had to open this email straight away because of the subject line. And then over the last couple of months, you have continued to put out these fantastic emails. And as you talked about, standing out is one of your specialties. So I wanted to invite you on today to share your top 3 subject lines that we can all use, whether we're a PT, a fitness professional, a club owner, a club manager, it doesn't matter, that we can all use to get better cut through to our clients, to our prospects, and to get people to actually open up our email. So I'm going to hand over to you. Tell us what you've got.
Yeah, you know what? If I remember correctly, Chantal, I think the first email that you had sent to me was like, this is brilliant, was one that was, the subject was our meeting today on the day that I was hosting a webinar. Does that sound like the right one?
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. So one thing that I love doing through subject lines is creating a very personal connection. When I think about what I see in my inbox every single day, and I love email marketing, I love Facebook advertising. Like, this is stuff that I grab screenshots of. I have an archived folder of all the best subject lines that actually get me to click. So I think a lot of what I'm seeing in my inbox is things that are a little bit bland and generic, if you will. They're straight to the point. And to be very honest with you, when I'm focusing on media pitching, that is exactly how I write. But when you're writing to your email list, it's really different because number one, you need it to feel like you're speaking to one person, not a bunch of them. And number two, it can't sound clinical. One of my favorite online fitness business coaches, AJ Mirzad, he always says that people don't buy coaching, they buy coaches. So every time it gets personal, that's when I find people are far more likely to jump in and click and actually be curious what you have to say.
That's awesome. Okay, so run us through. Give us example number 1 of what guests we could use.
So something that's been fun and actually came up today, and I was talking to Ashley Keefe earlier, who I know you also know, is it's really fun to talk to my other friends who are online entrepreneurs because we're all trading what's going on right now. I emailed one girl who also does PR today, and I was like, oh my God, I loved your subject line. She's like, which one did you get? I'm like, oh, you're A/B testing right now, splitting subject lines. And I think I had the same conversation with Ashley too. So it's really fun that everyone is playing around. But this year, I have really enjoyed geeking out in my inbox. Like, I go into my email marketing system, ConvertKit, regularly. I'm always doing A/B testing now. I'm playing around with things like square brackets, capitals, like what can I say in terms of like copy to get people to engage. So what I was alluding to earlier is I find that every time I do something with a personal connection, it clicks a lot more. And like that line I shared from AJ Mirzad, people are just really curious about getting a little bit of insight into your life. They're actually, our audiences are so voyeuristic and we don't even know it. So every time I've done something personal, it's worked really well. So the first subject line that I would love to share is, oops, I made a mistake. So one thing I think as coaches, as leaders, we want to show up in a very specific way because we need to inspire that kind of trust from our clients. We always want to be professional yet personable. And I think they look up to us in a certain way. But it's almost as if they can put you on a pedestal, and you don't want to be on a pedestal. You want to be really relatable. So anytime I start a subject line or I start an email with a subject line, oops, I made a mistake, people are curious. What mistake did she make? She's like me. She's not perfect. And I don't know, maybe some people want to know what I messed up on, just, for their own entertainment. But whatever the purpose is, like I find whenever I say that, I get a lot higher open rates. So I'm not sure what industry standards are right now. If I'm correct, and don't quote me on this one, I think typical email rates are around between 13 and 18% is good. I love to hover closer to 24 to 25. And if I can hit 34 and above, like gold mine. Winning. So I think that one got me around the 25% mark. So yeah, my audience is very curious about where I mess up.
Hey, I am one of those people. I opened that email that you sent, so I understand completely. Hey, just while we're on a break, I just want to do a quick shout out. Jono, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. And I can see other people online, but guys, I can't actually see. I can see you're there, but I can't see who it is. So do me a huge favor. If you're watching on right now, just say hey in the comments field so I know who's there, because we're streaming through Zoom. For whatever reason, it's not showing up your name. So so write me a little quick, say hi, tell me where you're listening from as well, and say hi to Lisa Simone. Okay, so oops, I made a mistake is number one. Tell us the second one.
So my second one is, again, going with a voyeuristic theme. And I specifically like to use this one in square brackets in all lowercase letters, because again, when I'm composing subject lines, you need to feel like it came from your friend. Like, how would you write this email as if you were writing to a friend and not a list of 10,000 people? Mm-hmm. So I do square brackets and all lowercase letters, and I'll write pics inside or videos inside, because we're all very visual people. Mm-hmm. So people want to know, oh, what is the picture in there? What is the video? I know it was about a week or 2 weeks ago, I had this crazy day where my mom had a really minor surgery. And I said, I would take her to it. But I still had a few calls to make. So dropped her off to do her surgery, went into a Starbucks, not the right environment for a phone call at all. She calls me done way earlier than I expected. So I had to drop her into a McDonald's. I'm so sorry, fitness family. That is the wrong thing to admit, but mom had to go somewhere. So I got to have privacy in my car and do my call. So while I was doing that, I was just like, wouldn't it be interesting for people to see what this is really like? Because everybody wants this freedom laptop lifestyle. Yeah. And it is really cool that I can be there for my mom and take her to the things she needs to go to, but still run my business at the same time. So I just snapped a picture of me sitting shotgun in a parking lot with my laptop on the gear shifter, mm-hmm. and just saying, I think the subject line was pics inside, has your workday ever looked like this? And people were curious, well, what? And I A/B tested that one as well. Yep. I can't remember what the other one was, but it was something a little more clinical as opposed to peeking into my life. And sure enough, pics inside got the most opens. Right. And people just wanted to know, what does the inside of her workday look like?
It's, I find it so fascinating. And this is why things like Facebook Live and Instagram Live and Instagram Stories are so effective in business relationships, not just, in personal terms. And that is that whole voyeuristic thing that you're talking about. People are so inquisitive. They want to know who the person is behind the business or what's actually going on behind the scenes. And I love that example, because for me, I know straight away that headline, that pics inside or that video inside, it does feel like something. And this is what makes me open your emails is I always go, is Lisa Simone emailing me personally, or is she emailing the database? And most of the time I can't tell, so I open all of them.
Yes.
And so I guess what I'm saying is, if we put ourselves into the space of our personal trainers, our fitness professionals, our gym owners and managers, that is what you want with your client relationships. You want them to feel as though, exactly what you're saying, you want them to feel as though that email that you've written to 5,000 people is just for them. And that's what I love about these subject lines, is you are just targeting so specifically.
Great. Yeah, and if I can share a tip of something I do when I'm writing my emails, I don't know who I got this practice from. I got it from someone in my business community. And so when I'm writing an email to my list now, I actually go into my personal Gmail account, not even my work ones, my personal one. Mm-hmm. And I write it to one of my friends or someone who's like my ideal client. I have a nutritionist that I used to work with. Her name is Jessie Lane. She's one of my favorite and best clients. So a lot of the time I start my email, hey, Jessie, I know this is what's been on your mind. And I literally write an email to Jessie. And then I copy and paste it into my email marketing system, and I make really, really sure to change the name, because that would suck if I sent that out like that. Although it would be great for an oops, I made the mistake email later on. But yeah, there's just something in the energy of how I connect to one person versus hello, everybody, writing to my list very professionally. You know what I mean? And people can feel that connection on the other side. A saying that my business coach always does, and I love it, and it's so true, is connection is currency. So all of these subject lines, this way of writing to your audience, it builds a connection. And when people can connect to you and relate to you, it's not just that you're the expert and they're looking at you for like your expert authority and your information. They're looking at you as someone like, I can relate and connect to that person. So when you build that, it gets that innate sense of trust that's going to take someone from, following your opt-in to actually taking that next level investment and taking the next step with you.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Lisa Simone, is this, I'm so glad we're talking about this subject, because I think no matter what career we start in, or no matter how what industry we're in, we are very much taught about the importance of formality, or in years gone by, we're taught about the importance of formality and being professional in email communications and stuff like that. And this is really flipping all of that on its head. And I personally believe that it takes practice to get these things right. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get you on, because you are you're so skilled at getting this language and this tone of voice correct. So what I would just say to people out there is trial this method that Lisa Simone's sharing with us this morning. Trial some of these subject lines and trial having that personal type communication with your customers, and just see how it goes compared to that formal style that you might have been doing up until now. Because I find as though it's really effective. So I just love these lessons that you're sharing with us. Now, before we go on to the next one, I want to do a shout out to, hang on, I just saw someone that was listening from the Hunter Valley. Hang on. I love that. Lisa Simone, do you know where the Hunter Valley is?
No idea.
The Hunter Valley in New South Wales is a beautiful wine region.
I love wine, and it's wine o'clock now. It's almost 5 here.
For you, it's 8:47 here in Sydney.
But instead, I'm double fisting coffee and water.
Yeah. Okay, we've got AJ Mizard on the line. Yeah.
Who I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Hi, AJ.
That's so cool. And I want to do a shout out to whoever it was in the Hunter Valley whose name is not popping up now, but I did see you there. So good morning to you as well. Good morning to JT. I can see you there.
Hey, JT.
Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Okay, so we've covered off subject line number 1 and number 2. Tell us number 3.
Okay, subject line number 3. Another one that's very voyeuristic. I'm embarrassed to admit this, ... Dun, 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 dun. What's the next part going to be?
That is sensational. That would definitely make me open up an email.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Again, because it's bringing up that vulnerability. Like, so many of us are putting on this like face and facade of perfection. We've got it all figured out. And again, it's bringing that connection, simply just showing people I make mistakes too. I've had this accident. People can relate to you. I've noticed with a lot of my conversations lately, the more I'm just like, yeah, this is a moment I was really scared. This is a moment when I made a mistake. People just love hearing that because it makes them feel less alone. Yeah. So anytime I write something with I'm embarrassed to admit this, again, maybe people are just nosy and they want to know where I'm screwing up in life. But I think a lot of them just want to know that, we're all in this together. We all make mistakes. So I'm embarrassed to admit this has worked super well.
That is a fantastic line as well. So yeah, as you've said the whole way through, I mean, all of these are very voyeuristic. They're very personal. So run through all 3 with us one more time in one hit.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do the recap. So the first subject line is, oops, I made a mistake. And then as we were talking about that, I thought of Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Maybe I took that from her. I'll give her credit. The second subject line is with square brackets and all lowercase letters, pics inside or videos inside. And then the third one is, I'm embarrassed to admit this, ...
I love all of those examples, Lisa Simone. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us about all of that today.
You're so welcome.
Look who's on the line. Ashley Keep is on the line. Hey
Keepers.
Thank you for tuning in as well. So this has been so exciting. I just was really looking forward to having you on Facebook Live this morning, Lisa Simone, and I love those subject lines, and I want to just once again take the opportunity to encourage everyone to give these a go. So you might be at that time of year. I know that we're all kind of starting to wind up at the moment and finish up things, but write it down, put it in your plans for January. Think about how you can weave those subject lines into your email marketing in 2018. Test them out, as Lisa Simone suggested. So test one out against another, see what gets you the best open rate, see what gets you the most response, and let us know how you go. I would love to hear what type of success you get from doing these giving these subject lines a go.
I love that. And I feel like I'm embarrassed to admit this, New Year's 2017 or something could do so well at this time of year, because people would love to know where you messed up a few months ago and how they can avoid it.
I love that one. So Lisa Simone, thank you once again so much for joining in. And before I sign off today, this is our very last FBP Live for 2017. We've only done 10 shows, so this is still pretty early days for us on the live format, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it over the last 10 episodes. We will be back next year, and right throughout the Christmas period, we are going to be giving you so many shows to listen to. We're doing a big recap of our top 17 shows for 2017. Right now, I am releasing my top 6 holiday tunes for 2017. So if you guys are at work at the moment and you just need to kill a little bit of time in the lead up to Christmas, or you're doing a few extra workouts or doing some road trips over the holiday season, then there are lots and lots and lots of great episodes for you to listen to. And right at the very, very beginning of our chat today, I mentioned Lisa Simone's episodes that she was on the Fitness Business podcast. And while we've been talking, I can see that JT has been very busy in the background and loaded links to those shows in the comments below. So if you guys want to check those out, good work, JT. You can go in and check those out as well. So one more time, Lisa Simone, thank you so, so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Always so much fun to talk to you. You know, I mean that with every fiber. And what an honor to get to close out 2017's episodes. I will take it.
Oh, and that you have a very, very happy holiday season, Lisa Simone. Thank you so, so much. And farewell, everyone, for 2017. We'll see you back here in 2018.
Bye, guys. Merry Christmas. Bye. Happy holidays.